Welcome back to Art Happens, the divine mess of art history, presented by J² Atelier. This is where we expose that nothing in art history is ever as tidy as the textbooks want you to believe. I'm your host, James William Moore, and today we're unfolding a mystery that has everything: doubt, misidentification, amateur sleuthing, emotional turmoil, and of course, Vincent van Gogh. This is the story of Sunset at Montmajour, a painting that disappeared not because it went missing, but because no one believed it existed. Picture this: July 1888. Van Gogh is in Arles in that explosive period where he's producing art like he's racing against time. He writes letters home to Theo, his brother, describing a scene: an amber sunset over Montmajour, the rocky hill crowned with an old medieval ruin. And then nothing. No mention of it again. No exhibition. No sale. The painting simply vanishes from his story. Fast forward, decades later, and a Norwegian family has a strange, unsigned landscape shoved in their attic. They assume it's a fake. A bad fake at that. Their uncle bought it sometime around 1908 and was told it wasn't a real Van Gogh. So they stored it away with the Christmas ornaments and broken lamps. It stayed there for over 100 years because one expert once said,
"No, that's not Vincent."
The irony. Vincent was ignored in life, and now, apparently, in storage too. In the early 1900s, Van Gogh's work was just beginning its rise, and fakes were starting to circulate. So when this painting showed up, the family sought advice. The experts saw no signature, a style that felt off, a story without documentation. So they dismissed it. But here's the twist. Van Gogh didn't always sign his pieces. He didn't always date them. He didn't always finish them. And he certainly didn't always tell people what he was doing. So the painting, real or not, was pushed aside. Not stolen, not destroyed, just believed into oblivion. Enter 2011. Over a century after it was dismissed, the current owners contacted the Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. They're skeptical, but curious. And this is where the story shifts from lost and forgotten to CSI post-impressionism. The museum launches a full investigation. Microscopic scans, pigment analysis, dendrochronology on the wood panel. UV light testing, handwriting comparisons with Vincent's letters, and stylistic study. Piece by piece, the clues line up. The pigment matched exactly what Van Gogh used during the summer of 1888. The brushwork aligns with his Montmajour and Arles period. The wood panel comes from the same tree used in other confirmed works. A letter to Theo references a painting of the rocky landscape with a sunset. And the emotional tone, the turbulence, the layered anxiety under all the golden light? That's Vincent, unmistakably. Finally, in 2013, the museum announces it.
Sunset at Montmajour is real.
A lost Van Gogh resurfaces. Here's what makes the discovery haunting. This painting belongs to the phase just before Van Gogh's mental health spiraled, just before the incident with Gauguin, just before the ear, just before the hospitalization. The painting is emotionally charged but controlled, warm but easy, beautiful but restless. Art historians believe this moment, summer 1888, was a fragile peak for Van Gogh. Productive, hopeful, but cracking at the edges. This painting then becomes a snapshot of a man trying to hold on to sunlight while his inner world darkened, which makes its disappearance strangely fitting, and its reappearance almost poetic. Van Gogh spent his life fighting to be seen, and more than a century later, he's still raising his hand from the attic saying, "Hey, hey, hey, I was here." Here's the final twist in this little art world mystery. The Norwegian owners could have sold the painting decades earlier for millions had someone believed in it. But they didn't. The experts didn't. The art world didn't. Van Gogh's fate in a nutshell. But in 2013, when the museum unveiled it, the world gasped. A new Van Gogh? Discovered after 120 years? It made headlines everywhere. It turns out, even in absence, Vincent keeps finding ways to be seen. This has been Art Happens, sponsored by J Squared Atelier. I'm your host, James William Moore, and if you're craving more creativity-fueled conversations, be sure to check out our sister show, Lattes and Art, where inspiration brews one cup at a time. Until next time, keep wandering, keep wondering, and remember, the messier the story, the more art happens.